We start our Yorkshire Dales Swaledale series in the hamlet of Hurst in North Yorkshire, located between Richmond and Reeth. On the moors, we're staying at Roan Beck Caravan Park, which is a small 3-pitch caravan park. We're also going to be doing a walk along Fremington Edge where we can see across to Reeth, up Arkengarthdale and down Swaledale. And as well as that, we'll also be having a look at some of the old remains of the lead mining industry from the 19th century.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
We begin our journey on the A6108 in the direction of Reeth coming from Richmond, and we take the right-hand turn signposted for Mask. We cross the bridge and then continue down the road for about a mile till we arrive into Mask. We're arriving into Mask now. We then continue to follow the road up the hill. After passing through Mask, follow the road for just over 2 miles. You'll then come to a crossroads, and at the crossroads you want to take a right-hand turn, signposted for Hurst. It's shown as a no-through road. Continue down the road for just under 3 miles, and then you'll come into the hamlet of Hurst. And when you get into the centre of Hurst, which is here, take a right-hand turn up the road that says no through road, and then continue down there for about a quarter of a mile, and it's on the right-hand side. Here we are, arriving at Roan Beck Caravan Park.
Today we're at Roan Beck Caravan Park in the Yorkshire Dales in Hurst, which isn't far from Reeth and Richmond.
So come on then, let's go take a look.
You can see the pitch we've got here. It's got electrical hookup. It's reasonably level but did need some levelling blocks at the front just to pull it right. Grass at either side. There's some children's playthings there. And really nice site. That's the outlook to the back of the pitch. Water point there. Waste. Got the little beck just running along the site just behind there. You've got the toilets and showers. The toilets are unisex. There's the showers. Quick look in. Nice and clean. Smells really clean. And then the toilet and wash basin in there. See the little beck that runs up the side of the site.
We're in the beautiful garden that's here on site. You can come on at night, there's lights that you can put on and come and sit here. It's so peaceful and tranquil. There's also a barbecue and a fire pit if you want to use them. It's just beautiful, it really is. Let me show you around. Unfortunately, some of the beck and the garden was washed away during the flash floodings that happened near Reeth a couple of years ago. The owners have been working really hard to repair the damage. Cheers.
The site has electric gates. When you arrive, you can just toot your horn and then someone will come and attend to you and let you in and see you to your pitch. It's really good for security, that as well, albeit it's really quiet around here, so I don't imagine you ever get any trouble. We're now going to go for a walk to Fremington Edge to have a look at the view over Swaledale and Arkengarthdale. So we're going to take a left-hand turn and head that way back into Hurst, and then we're going to do a right in Hurst and then head up the hill to Fremington Edge.
Here it's got a notice about the Scott Trials. It takes place every year on the 16th of October. It was actually set up in 1914 by Alfred Scott, and he formed a motorcycle company. And every year what happens is there's 70 miles of track and dales that off-road motorcycles come to and do trials. What they do is raise money for charity, and so far they've raised £137,600 for the Scots charity. That's amazing. So it's the 16th of October and it's in around Swaledale and Arkengarthdale. We have actually seen it once quite a few years ago and it is really spectacular. So if you're in the area, come and see it.
Just behind us is the road we came in on. You can go down that way and there's some houses. The one with the T-junction signs the way down to the campsite. And we're now going to head up that way towards Fremington Edge. The little lambs in the field. It's lovely seeing the lambs at this time of year.
Beautiful.
Just got the last of the daffodils behind me there. You can just see the remains of the old mine works starting to come into view now. Some nice little cottages behind us. It'd be nice to live remote out somewhere like this.
There's one for sale.
Oh, is there? So we've just arrived at the gate now, which takes us up through the old mine works onto the top of Fremington Edge.
David, what were the chimneys for?
They were used with the old mines. I think it was used for either lime kilns or certainly burning something to extract the material out of it.
Because there's one there and there's one behind us as well, isn't there?
There is. Just swing round, you'll see the one behind there, and then there's one over there. They're in quite good nick considering the age of them as well.
They are really good nick. feel like I've climbed to the top of the world. At least it's downhill on the way back.
In the distance there, you can just see a little reservoir. I believe that was used as part of the mine workings in the past.
So nice.
Roxy's cooling down in this, don't know what you'd call it, pond. The track continues for, I think it's just over a mile, taking us to Fremington Edge, so we're just following this track here. I believe that's Swaledale that's just in the distance there, where you start to see the greenery again. It's very barren up here and a lot of heather and quite a lot of the remains of the mine works. We're nearly at the top now. We'll soon be going over the edge.
Oh.
When we left home, it was very overcast.
It was awful. It was really dark and cold. So I am the person who came in my winter clothes. I came with a big thick jumper on and I went shopping on the way for something to eat tonight. And I bought winter type food when actually it's that beautiful we could have had a barbecue.
So, we're just coming up to Fremington Edge. How have you found it so far, Rachel?
Well, for the person who doesn't really do walking like this, I've actually really enjoyed it. I feel as though I've walked up to the top of the world. Roxy's loved it. It's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. You like walking anyway, don't you?
I do, yes. And as I say, we're nearly at the edge now. Our plan is to do a bit of a triangular walk, so go along, walk along the edge and then come back into Hurst a different way. Roxy seems to be enjoying it too.
I was going to say she's loved it, hasn't she?
Let's get on with the walk.
For anybody who knows Roxy, you'll know that she is absolutely petrified of motorbikes. So she's been really, really brave now. Bless her. I'm so proud of her. She didn't run away from them. That's the first time ever.
Just behind us there we've got Reeth, and then you can see just up that way takes us up Swaledale, and this way, which is the direction we're going to be heading, is up Arkengarthdale.
Look at this stunning scenery behind us. Do you know what though? There's 3 pubs in Reeth down there and it's miles to walk. David, will you pop down and get me one?
I won't. If any of you ever tried it walking up Fremington Edge, it's a real good challenge, that one, to wander up there. Be happy to go down, but getting back will be the challenge, albeit it's perfectly doable, of course. So you can obviously head down the path there to Reeth or Grinton and the surrounding area there. We are going to head along here towards or up Arkengarthdale and just look along the valley.
Are there any pubs that way?
There's the CB Inn, which we previously stayed at. That's along there. We're about 2/3 of the way along now before we take a right to head back to Hurst.
This could be one for you being framed. I think that was the hardest day in the whole world to get over.
Get a bit of a glimpse of Arkengarthdale just behind us there in the valley, and it's Roan Beck that runs through Arkengarthdale. Made a slight wrong turn there. We should have actually just took a right before we went over the last stile and then just headed up the path you can just see across the field. There is a stile here, but we'll use the gate because the stiles aren't particularly dog friendly. An old stile just there. But we're going to use the gate and remembering to shut it behind us to stop letting the sheep out onto the fell. We'll just cut across the moor track now, which is the right of way, which takes us back to Hurst. So we can just see Hurst coming back into the distance now, and you can see the chimneys from the mines that we passed earlier. It's absolutely lovely and peaceful here. Turned left here and we're heading towards the little dam or reservoir, and then we're going to just make our way back down. And here is the reservoir. Guess who's going to go in? So Rachel, what have you thought of the walk, which has taken us from Hurst up to the top of Fremington Edge, along Fremington Edge, and then back down to Hurst?
Well, it's been longer than I thought it was going to be. David always does mis-selling of walks, and it was slightly longer and higher than I thought. But you know what? I think I've accomplished something. I quite enjoyed it. How about you?
I've enjoyed it. I've done this one before, slightly longer, a little bit further along to Arkengarthdale, which, just for reference, if you continue on the path where we turned off, you can eventually then cut back again a different way. But you get to the point where you can see Arkengarthdale and then make a cut back. But this was about the right length, given we haven't got any rucksacks or anything with us, and just one bottle of water between the three of us.
And it's quite warm.
It is. Nice to see the sun out though, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Let's head back to the campsite. If you're just popping up for the day and not staying at the campsite, there are a few parking spaces here, not very many. So we're now back where we started from, so we just need to head down the hill now and then take a left for the campsite when we get to the middle of Hurst. Down that way to head back to Roan Beck. There's a defibrillator just down here for reference as well.
After a really pleasant evening and night's sleep, I then took Roxy for a walk before we headed off.
Something you don't see very often nowadays, there's a telephone box. Fascinating bridge here, right next to the roadside. I assume it's there in the event of it flooding on the road and covering that so you can still get across on foot.
We thought we'd try it out. Well, you have to, don't you?
The old school here, and an old post box too. There's footpaths throughout the area to allow you to explore. You can head towards Richmond direction, Marwick, over to Reeth, up the Dale. Lots of options for walking and plenty of options for cycling too. I think that barn behind me's seen better days. It's lost its roof. So Rachel, what have you thought of Roan Beck Caravan Park in Hurst?
What a little piece of heaven. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's just the most peaceful, quiet and relaxing place. Beautiful walks. I mean, I've never walked so far in all my life, but it was enjoyable. I think I've definitely earned this little glass here. It's unreal. It's just so peaceful, it's so quiet. The owner of the site is really friendly and nice. It's just perfect. It's brilliant. I've loved it. What about you?
I think you, as Rachel said, agree with everything there, and you can't go wrong for £20 a night with electrical hookup, can you? You know, it's in a lovely peaceful location, very small site, 2 or 3 pitches, so absolutely perfect if you want a little bit of a relaxing break. Worth noting, it's well out the way of anywhere, so there's no Just Eat deliveries or anything like that. You know, if you want to walk to the pub, you've got to go over Fremington Edge and down into Reeth, or walk back into Richmond. So you know, you're looking 5 to 10 mile walk if you want to go to the pub, or obviously similar length of drive too.
And do you know what, David, right? I don't even mind that I packed the wrong season's clothing. I don't mind that I packed the wrong season's food. Sitting out in this sun and just relaxing and having a couple of drinks. We have ditched the food that we were going to have, and we're just going to nibble on crisps and sandwich and stuff. But do you know what? It's been perfect. Lovely. Just what was needed.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.